All right, shalom everyone and welcome. Tonight we're going to go over red sage. Let's see if we get everybody on here. All right, shalom and welcome. This is the red sage. This is what it looks like. Picture of it so we can all see. We should be able to see what we're getting. When you order these things, it's a good thing to know what you're ordering, what you're getting, and that way you know what it looks like instead of just a jar of sand or a jar of dirt or something of that nature, right? So when you know what you're getting, it means a lot. And this is the red sage. This is our herb of the night. So shalom and welcome. It is a common culinary herb, but you may not be familiar with the bright red version or the alternative medicine known as the Dashan comes from. The red sage of Dashan is a traditional Chinese medicine. And a lot of these, what I found is 2,000-year-old medicines. They're 2,000-year-old tried and true is what they say. Different things for COPD and things of that nature to help the lungs, to help the body, to help with breathing. And we probably should have known about this a few years back, right? So made from the dry root of the red sage plant, it is long history of use in China and other Asian countries. It has many potential, if I can read and speak, potential health benefits thanks to its polyphenol content. So what we understand, what we need to get a hold of and what we need to find for our bodies, because I am a true believer in your body will heal itself if you give it the right things to heal, right? So if you give your body the right combination or whatever it is that it needs, then it will heal itself. So with all that being said, that's what this is all about, right? It's to heal our bodies and to help our bodies to heal itself. Again, as I always say, that has nothing to do with the prayer and Yahweh's healing, Yeshua's blood. But this is something that, just like if you go to the dentist, and get your tooth filled or pulled or whatever, you can pray about it. And a lot of times you're still going to have to go if you chip a tooth and have it chipped. So we just have to use what we have and what we're made. It doesn't take nothing away from prayers or miracles, but just like we have to eat to survive, we have to drink water to survive. These are when our body needs things. Okay, so red sage has been used for centuries to help treat a wide range of medical concerns, from high cholesterol, which is another big thing for cancerous and lymphoma. They say that your lymph nodes basically pile up like a water hose. They just get full of everything because your body can't get rid of it. And of course, the meat and all the different things that has the cholesterol, it's not so much the cholesterol, it's all the things within that, right? So all the GMOs and all the stuff, especially in processed meat and stuff like that, it just makes it like 10 times more potent, and not in a good way, right? So there's some evidence that the benefits aren't just based on general wisdom. And again, a lot of these things have been tried. A lot of people have used them. A lot of people have been using them. It's not something that we're just shooting in the dark and saying, try this out. If anybody's ever used it and it's cured their lungs, cured their COPD, cured this and cure that, then you can almost be certain that there's some doctor saying that will never work. But, if we have testimony of these people having this and having that, then that matters more than anything, right? It matters to the people that are still living and breathing, if you will. Red sage or Dashan is a herbal medicine made from the root of the red sage plant. It has a long history of, again, traditional medicine. Primary use of the red sage in medicine of heart problems and also lung problems, another big COPD type thing, is be effective mostly because of the action of the two unique compounds found in it. So what we have here is when we break all these down, the scientists who are smart enough to break all these things down, look at them through microscopes, tell us exactly what they do. And when they do this, then this shows us what this plant or these herbs will do for us. And I think that's amazing because within their research and finding and looking these things, they're actually showing us what it's doing, how is it helping us, and so on and so forth. So just as anti-inflammatory effects, blood clotting effects, opening blood vessels. So all these things that we find with diseases and long-term diseases, a lot of times what we find with the patients or the person who has it is everything's working in reverse or everything's not working up to potential, right? So their blood vessels, their blood itself, their blood counts, other than like maybe white blood counts or something being way too high. But on the whole, is what we're looking at is the body's not functioning properly or as it up to par it should be. And when this happens, your body can't get rid of these things that it's normally gotten rid of, right? So a lot of people get in their 70s or 80s and they have a lot of problems with breathing. They need oxygen, they need walkers, wheelchairs, such and so forth. Mainly it's because the body has had all these toxins and all these things and it just builds up. They say that even in your fingernails and your hair, and of course pork products, have a 40-year lifespan is what they say. So you can take someone's fingernails or a strand of their hair, and they say you can test for 40 years of that. That's a long time, especially some people ain't even that old. That's a long time to have something in your body. So when your body is having these problems, that just shows us what's going on, right? Are we looking okay? Several animal studies have noted powerful effects from the red sage that aided in post-heart attack and post-stroke recovery. So when they give them to the animals, then they see this. Also, again, we see a lot about animals and things of that nature, but actually through Chinese medicine and some people, even in the United States, that use these, there's evidence that what it has helped with heart, helps with breathing, and it just helps the body. It's just like anything else. When it gets clogged up, right now you go mow the yard and it's like a dust ball, right? Because there hasn't been rain and everything, there's just dust, dirt, and everything here. So with all that, you're breathing whatever that is. So if something's came over, somebody sprayed it, whatever's happened, whatever's in those weeds or grass or whatever that's around, then you're inhaling it and it goes into your lungs. And your body has to do something with this. And your body says, hey, this ain't air. It's not oxygen. What is this junk? So it has to filter it and go through it. And when it does that, sometimes, they say it don't take but a microbe or a single thing. It's amazing to me of how healthy we are when you look into these things, because it takes one bad cell or one T cell or one thing to go wrong, and then it's a catastrophe, if you will. So it's amazing that our bodies, go that long. You go to the grocery store and you see all this junk up there, and I'm like, I don't even want to put my stuff with that, and the belt's dirty and all that, no telling what's on it. And you're like, my, oh my, no wonder people get sick. No wonder people don't get sick. It's more amazing to me. How is everybody not sick? So it's amazing when you see these things and how our body, naturally gets rid of these things. But after so long, just like anything else, if you put a little bit of water into your gas and you keep doing it after so long, your car is not going to be healthy. It's not going to be happy. Let's go on. Additional, some evidence indicates that Dashin may be useful in combination with more conventional heart medicines and therapies in Western countries. So all these, again, most of these can be used with regular medicines. And that's unheard of, but that's what usually happens. But again, you have to test it, you have to know, but it's a plant. So you don't have to ask your doctor before you eat a carrot, right? You don't ask your doctor before you eat strawberries. They will bring you ice cream, piggy cakes. I mean, they will bring you all kinds of stuff in the hospital and bring you all kinds of, bad things, and everything's okay with that. But then again, when we get to healthy and we talk about healthy things, it's like, oh no, that would hurt you. It's like, oh, how that we can be afraid of the very things that help us, right? Going on, these actions are helpful in long-term blood sugar management and prevention of some of the secondary concerns associated with diabetes. Anything that helps your blood, anything that helps your veins open, of course, is good for the diabetes and things of that nature. Liver, powerful anti-inflammatory and antitoxic efforts of red sage pollenols may also make it useful for the liver health, according to the animal studies. And again, you can look up Chinese medicine and health, and you can find out on actual human studies too. But a lot of these they put together is just what it is, right? Additionally, red sage may offer some protection against Crohn's, a late stage of chronic liver disease characterized by death of the liver tissue. Now, some people say when you catch the liver in a healthy enough form, even if there's just a little bit left, and we see, people have their liver cut out or parts of it missing or whatever. But they say if you can recover it, it will start building back and start healing itself. So it's amazing that all these things that we can have to help our body help itself, if you will. I believe that's all we have. Potential side effects include digestive distress and reduced appetite. There are even some reports of loss of muscle control after taking the red sage. So with all these things, you have to take a little bit to see what it does for you. If you take a little bit, I'm trying to find my little spoon that I always recommend. Again, if you take just a little amount of it, then you know what you're getting and you know what it does to your body. So don't be like my dad and takes 2 spoonfuls of Majesta and wonders why he feels funny, right? You don't do that. You take a little spoon. This is the one that comes with some of these. This is what I recommend. Just a little spoonful, like so. Just a little bitty guy. And you can take that, and that's usually enough to see if it has any allergic reaction. And even if it gives you something, it usually, there's not enough to cause any major problems. Whereas when you start getting into more amounts and more things, then it does the same thing. If you're going to use the tincture or use the other, which is kind of harder to find, and I don't think does as good, especially with sage, or a tea, same thing. We just got to use this stuff. We can't, it's a medicine, right? So it's not something that you just take down. You wouldn't go and take a whole bottle full of something else and say, hey, I'm going to see what happens with this and just see what, because it could make you sick. It could give you diarrhea. It could give you all kinds of problems. But with all that being said, it's I believe another herb that is kind of hard to find if you're looking things up, kind of hard to figure out, if you will, but it's there. So with all that being said, it's kind of easy if you know what exactly you're looking for or you're searching for it. So, I just praise him that we're looking into these things, that we're finding more and more healthy ways to help our bodies, to help our liver, to help our lungs, to help whatever it may be, to help us out. And with all that being said, we will go to questions. Thank you, everybody, for showing up and for being here. And we'll go to questions or comments.
I could barely hear you. It was cutting up and going back to preparing meeting a lot on the Zoom.